Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of my Let's Play here of... What is this game? Heroes and Generals. Wow, I couldn't remember what the game was. But yeah, so, I'm playing as my tanker, and to play as a tank, you just go to like any of those spawn points, and you spawn in your tank just like you would your infantry. But to get a tanker, you gotta progress through the lines, you gotta get up to it, etc, etc. It takes a little bit of time to do so. It's not like you can just hop into it. You gotta play up to rank 3, and then you can buy your tanker, and I'm actually in an upgraded tank. I'm in the 3rd tank you can get, because at first you get the Panzer 1, which is... Panzer 1. Panzer 1 is difficult. And then there's the Panzer 2, which I did not use, but it can do some stuff. Not my preference, but it works. And then there's this thing, the Panzer 38T. It's the next thing in the line. That's the 3rd one. The Panzer 3 is the 4th one in line. And yeah, so that's the progression you can do. It's not too shabby. It's not bad, but it's a lot of work to get from the Panzer 1 to the Panzer 38T, because all it has is 2 machine guns, and yeah, those machine guns are not very fantastic. So by the way, you never want to be out of your tank like this whenever you're actually in combat. I'm only out of the tank right now because it doesn't really make that much of a difference to be out of combat. I mean out of the tank, because I'm just rolling up the line at the moment. Alright, so we're actually going to cruise this way and see about starting to be a little bit of a pain to some of the guys over here in the C column. I at least want to get down to C3. If I can get down there, that'll be great. Kind of cut them all off. Oh, there's a tree there. Not watching the tree, I was watching the map. Oh, so yeah. Tanks have 2 different types of shells that they can, well, 3 different types technically. They have APCR and AP, which do the exact same thing, except APCR is a little more penetration value, but does costs a little more. The HE, of course, is your anti-tank round. HE does not damage infantry at all, so don't bother if you want to hit infantry with it. Other than that, what else is there? Yeah, your machine gun. Looks like I'm not facing any tanks, so we're going to go ahead and switch to HE real quick. Let's see what comes up in our path. I don't think anything. So we're going to go ahead and drive up this way. Nothing. So as a tanker, really the only weapon you can carry is a submachine gun. So I highly recommend you pick up the submachine gun if you're planning to go as a tanker. And I mean, submachine guns are good, so there's nothing wrong with it to begin with. So it's a very solid option if you want to go that way. But that's what I have on this guy, is a submachine gun, my grenades, and then of course my tank. Now I'm actually very fond of this tank. I've done pretty well with it, actually. So we'll just get right up in here. We'll start our cap, shall we? We can't yet. We're still waiting for the activation to happen. Alright, so it looks like there's a lot of stuff up there in town. So we'll take this real quick. I'll probably ditch this area and go help on the DE line here momentarily. Once we finish up. Once we take this position, I should say. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and back out. I'm going to race to the DE line. That's what I'm going to do, because that's where the action is, and that's where I want to head. So let's get going. Get in my tank for a little bit safer. And we'll head up there, try and stop them at E, prevent them from taking too much stuff, because they might get over there to the O line. So we need to head over there quickly, hold them off there. I don't know if they're going to have any tanks, but in the meantime we'll load HE just in case. I don't know if I can get across this bridge. Can I? Yeah, I probably can. Alright, so they do have armor on D, it looks like. So that shouldn't be a problem. I could sit across, actually, on D and just start pounding the banks. Which is actually a pretty solid strategy, if I can just get over there. We're losing D4 though, so that is problematic. Yeah, they're going to take D4 before I can do anything, but at least we're ready to counter them whenever we get over there. Alright, so tanks. One thing you'll notice that I noticed pretty terribly is that you really can't tell when you're getting hit by stuff. The damage does not make an alert. You don't really get alerted too much to what's going on. All you know is you're getting damaged. I mean that you basically are dead. That's really about it. It's kind of hard to tell if anything is actually going on. So that's one thing that hopefully they'll fix in the future. But for now, it's not exactly well designed. You can't really tell when you're getting hit by stuff. Other than that, that's really about it. Alright. So I'm almost back here to start countering these guys. And here we go. Alright, need to start getting up here, getting ready to take these guys out. Hopefully they don't have any tanks. Oh, great. I just rolled myself into a bad position. There we go. See, the problem with navigating a tank in the city is you're so exposed to enemy fire that you just won't be able to see and counter. In addition to that, such tight turns. Alright, there's an enemy tank over here. So we're going to get ready to take him out. Alright, so he just got hit there. There's an enemy tank ahead of me somewhere right there. Alright, so... come on. One more shot should do it. Alright, so I got him, but he got me. It was an even trade, especially since he's in a Chaffee. That's one thing you'll notice, is that Chaffies actually are pretty freaking ridiculous in the fact that they're considered light tanks. It's not really easy to take them out, per se. You just do what you can and kind of hope for the best. It's not easy. So, alright, we're starting to lose some of these points here. We need to be pretty cautious. I did see a Jeep drive down that way. I'm not going to go and chase him. It's kind of essential that we start securing like a firing line here. Alright, so now that we're good here, let's take a look at the map. Looks like all our armor is rolling out of this point. So now we can form up a nice defensive position. Now I kind of am going to want the HE. I think I'm going to, at least. Okay, so here we go. We're HE equipped. I don't see anybody there. Alright, so we'll slowly advance up. I don't know where their tanks are going to come from, so it's something we need to be aware of. Is to be able to counter their tanks whenever they... Okay, so there's their opening right there. So we're just going to get right, like... Yikes, see? Like that, I got hit. I'm not actually able to really notice that I'm getting hit. Ah, man. See, there's no warning for when you're getting hit. And there was a whole lot of tanks over there I should have been aware of. So that's my fault. Ran into a position I was not prepared for. So instead we're going to do this a little bit better. We're going to have to plan this one out a little bit safer. Try and counter them as they're coming up to that bridge. Man, yeah, as you saw right there, start getting hit. You can't tell where you're getting hit from. You can't tell what you're getting hit by or how much damage you're doing until you start really like listening in and then looking at your health. So that was my own fault for doing that. I was not paying attention to them over on the ridge over there. I was kind of watching them trying to cross the river. So instead, we're going to have to play this one out a little bit differently. To get over here. Alright, so they are taking E, which is not a good thing. Alright, so we're going to try and get right over here. No, not quite like that. Let's see if we can't. Nope, we want this shell. Oh, and there we go. Got both of them. I'm not going to be able to stop that capture, I'm sure. But we can probably hit these Jeeps as they're coming across, actually. Got him. So we're not helping, but we're not doing bad stuff, that's for sure. And the problem being, I don't know or can't see where the guy is that's capping that point. And it might be a little difficult for me to actually hit him. You put a shell right like that. He wasn't in there. He's not in there. Running out of options as to where he is, but they already capped it, so it doesn't even matter at this point. But there's a Jeep coming across, so we'll... Well, not hitting the Jeep like I planned on it. There you go. You actually got to hit near the Jeeps. You can't actually shoot the Jeeps themselves. As much as you think that would work, it doesn't. And you see now I'm getting rocketed here by a bazooka dude. And he is, like that, now dead. Alright, so, oh, now I gotta rotate back around. See, the problem is with infantry, you really need support against them from with your team helping you out. Because as it stood right there, I was in trouble because I didn't have any counter to that infantryman. He just basically was able to roll up like that and hit me. So we really need, you know, the support of teammates to kind of protect your tanks, because they can die super quick and easy if you're not ready for the infantry rush to come at you. So we're gonna back up just a bit. Alright, they're capping that. Gotta be careful because you can kill your own teammates with HE. So that's one thing you gotta be aware of. Alright, I gotta be ready for this tank that's over here. Alright, he is dead. Perfect. Alright, so I'm actually against the tree there. That's what was blocking me. Alright, so we're gonna get ourselves in a position where we can sit over here and again help out our E area. Looks like they got it pretty well covered. So we're just gonna creep ahead, try and watch the bridge here for when tanks decide to roll up. And like that, I'm getting hit. I need to back out of there as quick as I can. Just like that. I don't know where it was coming from. So that's a problem, because he could have been coming from in front of me, could have been coming to the side. I don't know. So we're going to have to play this one really carefully. Keep an eye out for these tanks. I really don't have the cover position like they do. So it's going to be kind of guesswork as to where these people are at. See, like there's a vehicle there, but I can't see it, to be honest. Alright, so let's just be careful. Alright, we want to definitely seclude myself from that area. I'm much better off like this, where I can see stuff coming up. I'm kind of blocked from that area. There we go. Is there a tank over there? I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Alright, so let's keep an eye out over here. Problem with playing a tank is, yeah, you don't want to you don't want to waste your tank spawns, that's for sure. Because if they blow up, you're basically out of tanks. Alright, where'd that bike go? I saw him. Here's a Jeep. Let's see about hitting this Jeep real quick. You gotta not hit the Jeep dead on, like that. Because the HE, again, does 0 damage to armor. Completely 0 damage. So any armor whatsoever, be it a bike, a Jeep, anything. As long as they're in it, and you hit them with HE, they'll not take any damage. But if you shoot like the ground near them, it'll actually kill them. So that's something to be aware of. Alright, I need to think about that area over there. Alright, let's see. There is a tank asset. There's 2 tank assets over there. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and go deal with these guys real quick. See if it can't be of some assistance to taking them out. Alright, I don't see them offhand. I know they're out there. Where, oh where are their tanks? I don't see them. If that's an enemy, I'm in trouble. But I don't think so. Nope. Nope, these are friendly. Alright, so there we go. See, it helps when they spot stuff for you like that. So now I can see there's something right over there. Yeah, like that. Got him. It's a heck of a shot I had to line up, but it worked. And that's all thanks to my teammates actually spotting out the area. Alright, so let's go back over here, switch back to HE. I don't have the wrench equipped, so it's not like I can actually easily repair myself. If I have the wrench, you can then repair yourself, but sadly, no such luck at the moment. Alright, and these tanks are not exactly as mobile as you'd think. They're moving quick and everything, but yeah, that's about it. There's no ability to... Oh, hold on. Got him. Got him. Alright, I think that takes care of that. We'll shoot him. Yeah, tanks are not exactly as maneuverable as you'd like them to be. They're a little bit cumbersome, but that's to be expected. Uh-oh. I just got shot at and I don't know from where. Not without the assistance of a teammate. That's for sure. Alright. I hear another tank. I'm going to assume... There we go. Tank right there. Lost track of him. There he is. I can hit him. I kind of know where he's at. I think he's right there. He was right there, at least. That was a waste of that APCR shell. Alright, let's see about bombarding this building. Nothing there. Missed him. Missed him twice. Okay. So their tank is right about there. He was over there. Problem is, you kind of lose the ability to know where they're at, which doesn't make it easy. You do need teammates to kind of spot out their tanks for you. That does make a lot of difference if they see like that. Now I can barely see him. I can keep hitting him. He's over there now. Was. Take out his Jeep real quick. Shot over him. Not gonna worry about him. Like, I see this tank way over there in the distance. They got away from me. Okay. So there's still tanks over here. There's this guy over here. Was this guy over here. There we go. Alright, so what I'm doing right now is I'm basically just kind of trying to place shots, hit tanks, so on and so forth. But I've kind of lost track of where some of their stuff is. Obviously they can have tanks hiding in the trees over here. They're actually capping right now on E. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate back over here. I feel like they're just continually pounding the area I was. At least that's how it feels. Looks like they're just shooting that tree that I was hiding next to. Oh, there we go. So he gave himself away there. I can see him totally now because he keeps firing. One more shot should kill him. Got him. Alright, so we're running low on ammo in this tank, so we need to be very aware of what's going on here. We don't want to obviously waste ammo, but we need to be cautious that we place our shots a little more carefully, because I'm running low on almost everything. By running low, I mean I'm, down to just a couple rounds. Not a couple, but enough that I need to be cautious. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and advance to cover our teammates a little. Alright, so there's a guy right... Oh, that guy's dead. Alright, so we do have teammates assisting on that end. I did see a shot come out somewhere over here. Yep, there's a guy right there. Got him. I knew he was somewhere over there. I thought I saw a tank. Nope, there's a dude bro right here. Got him. Alright. Now there's a tank over here, apparently. A tank? Yes. That was a tank. Or something. Alright, so good. We stopped that. Again, we just gotta sit here. Be cautious of where we place ourselves. Just keep your head on a swivel. Keep looking out for where the enemy might appear. And where their tanks are firing. That's kind of the key thing. Like, I see that shot coming out. I see it fire again. See, without him spotting me, I don't exactly know where they're at. I know he's like... Well, that was a tree. And you gotta be cautious of that. You can't exactly fire through trees. And there's smoke there, so I can't see what's going on. Alright, let's back up a bit, shall we? Hopefully if we back up, we'll be able to see some stuff. And I hit the wall, which is not what I want. It says there's something right up, right like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continually hit him. One more should kill it. Got him. Ooh, there's two of them in there. Beautiful. Alright, so again, just maneuver our position to be a little more cautious here. Try and assist. We're holding them to that area, but we're definitely playing a long game here. We're not able to really push. Oh, and there we go. Chaffee got me all the way across the line there, but not a big deal. It allows me to spawn back in a new tank. So we don't need to worry about A, B, or C. This is the only place that is in trouble. We'll go ahead and spawn at O2, because O2 is where I was getting those nice angles that I'm able to fire from. So we're gonna go ahead and load up, and there we go. Okay, let's go back at it. This time we're gonna try and keep a little bit safer position on this further end, because that way I can maybe get a better angle and stuff. Trying to come across at oh, see, like what this guy's doing. He's in actually a pretty decent position here, firing across into this area here. Alright, I can't really see much of anything where I'm at over here. So we might go into the tree line over here to get a better angle on things. Also, this way I have that nice little protective cover of trees and everything, and I can then use the tree line to spot things, shoot things if I so choose to. But the problem is going to be seeing things before they see me. That is, again, that's the one... Whoa, geez, there we go. It's the one major issue, is spotting things before they spot you. Alright, so... Come on. He missed me. One more shot should do it. Got him. Oh, I just wounded him. Bullocks, there. I'm still just wounding him. Man, that's one lucky tanker. That time I didn't just wound him. I killed him. Alright, so again, need to be cautious about where we sit. He knows that I'm over here, so we can't stay there forever. Let's go ahead and reposition, because the key, just like sniping with a sniper rifle, is when you're in a tank, you want to reposition so that way they're not expecting you to be in the same spot. So I'm going to go ahead and travel over here a little bit more. Not much in the way of cover, but it gives me a decent position to see what is up this way. Alright, looks like nothing so far. Nope, no tanks coming in. Problem is, if I crest this line, I'm going to be pretty exposed to anything coming up and over. So I need to be very aware of what's over that way if I'm going to do this. Alright, so we are starting to take D, which is great. E we're fine with. Leave that as it sits. Alright, we don't want to risk our tank if we don't have to, so we're going to actually pull back down. Like so. Going to reposition over this way, if we can get rolling here. Ooh, look, Tellermine killed somebody. That's kind of cool. Alright, so we're going to move out, try and assist everybody over here. Looks like D is, well, we can't really seem to push across there. We're spawning more tanks in. So it looks like E still needs help. Right now we're kind of just playing the draw, not the draw, but the win via timeout. Alright, we need to actually get up here again into our nice safe spot that we were in before. There we go. Nice and safe. And man, these tanks take a while to turn. There we go. Okay. I'm happy where I'm at. Load some HE real quick. And there's a tank over here actually, so we're going to load back our APCR. He looks to be right about there-ish. Nope. He was. Right now he's running. I missed that shot. Come on. I'm going to lose track of him. Yeah, I lost track of him. That's the sad part, is sometimes you lose track of people. It is what it is. And I'm getting shelled. I don't know from where. So we're going to back up. Give it a minute to drop my cover. Yeah, without having any idea where these people are, I'm not about to really expose myself too much. Again, the problem being I don't know where half these people are, so... That guy knew where he was. Alright, this guy, we gotta stop him. Ooh! Oh, that was beautiful. That guy was just hanging out there, too. Got him. Got a little award for killing him. I'll certainly take that. Let's see. Yeah, we're kind of just holding them, not really doing a whole heck of a lot. I know it is kind of monotonous and dull, but obviously if you run out of tanks, that's a terrible thing, because it really disadvantages you. By the looks of it, we have 5 tanks left, I believe. Yeah, it looks like we have 5 tanks left in this platoon. So the last thing I want to do is waste them. Alright, so let's keep an eye out here. So I don't want to go charging across and get myself killed, especially if it means giving them an advantage. Alright, so no one was there. Or are they? No. Either that or there's something in between me and him and I can't see it. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn to face this way. I don't see anything. Whatever they're shooting at is not visible to me. What we could do is attempt to cross. Attempting to cross this is going to be suicidal at best, but it might pay off. It might pay off in the fact that we would get a nice little angle on everybody, and we could then support our infantry and be able to see people. But tanks are better left as support, to be quite honest. So that's kind of what you want to do, is sit here, help out your team. You don't want to just go and throw your tank away. It's really not going to work out at all. So you kind of want to be back just enough to help out. Ooh! Got him. Yeah, like I said, you want to be back just enough that you're going to be able to help out your team. You don't want to, you know, send your tank forward. You're more infantry support, because your HE is going to be taking out infantry more than anything else. Alright, there's something raking our infantry from this angle. Anything? Nothing I can see. Coming from over there. It's a tank or a jeep that I can't... Oh! Something's shooting. It's a tank. Load anti-tank just in case. Nope. Don't see anything. Man, it is tough to decide what to do, and I don't really have the assets to help me out to go ahead and advance, do I? Well, we do have people across. We have people in D. Here we go. Potential tank. Lost sight of them. They keep telling me it's right here. Well, you know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Time to get feisty. Actually, it was just the jeep. Alright, so if we're gonna cross, we're gonna do it now. Need to do it now where they're taking D. I'm gonna go ahead and load up my anti-tank just in the off chance. Where's he getting shot at from? He's got guys up on top of the hill there. Alright. Come on. One more hit should kill it. Got him. Excellent. Alright, so we're stopping their Chaffee there. I don't know what else is... Oh, geez. This guy. Alright, so he's just a light tank. He can't actually pin the front of my tank, which is beautiful. So I'm going to be able to take him out before anything really happens. Actually, I rephrase that. I'm getting railed here by stuff. Alright. Hello. Wow, that was a whiff. There we go, when in doubt, switch to machine gun. Alright, so they're taking D2. I'm going to go ahead and stay here to support E. Ouch. Alright, we're going to back up into the woods because we're kind of exposed to where we're at. That's the problem. So we need to get into the woods here. Grenades don't actually hurt tanks, so that's something fun to know, is that if they're firing grenade or throwing grenades at you... Oh, geez. Oh, man, I saw that and I was like too late to really do anything. That Chaffee is a bastard to take out. But good news is we're making great progress on the D line. I'm going to go ahead and try and get back over here. Wow, I'm doing great right now. Welcome to running a tank, man. You just annihilate people. Alright, so let's hurry back up. Looks like we'll probably win on time before we'll actually win on kills. And there we go with the D column. So I'm going to go ahead and move up quickly here. Try and get over here to help stop anything that's going to come across, especially this Chaffee. Want to stop him from advancing on E3 or 4, whichever this is right here. So we need to go ahead and maneuver, get over here and help out. Alright, we're going to do this apparently the difficult way. So I chose the... Well, no, I can just drive down this path right here. If I can turn. There we go. Okay, alright, now let's get over here to stop them on E. Looks like we'll get victory in a couple seconds, so I'm not too worried about that. Not going to get that kill in that Chaffee like I would like. Looks like we do have an option to shoot this Jeep, though. Whiffed. Come on. You can do better than that. Got him. There's something right over there. Oh, it's just a Jeep. No wonder why I couldn't really do much to it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and advance. We're going to win anyway. So there you have it. That is tank battles in Heroes and Generals. So thank you everybody for coming out to this episode of my Let's Play Heroes and Generals. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. Tanks are amazingly good time. One day I'll jump back in my... Oh, I'll probably jump back into my infantry in another episode here. And I've upgraded him to have a machine gun, which is baller, by the way. So, catch me next time, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. See you then.